Good morning, good morning. Hope everybody is doing well. I've been asked a lot by people, have I looked into the Nia Wilson story, and I started doing some research on it. This is the box of crowns palette that I got. This is the one that I told you guys I'm really not that happy with. The colors are supposed to be super pigmented, but I'm not finding that. I'm not finding that at all. Nia Wilson, 18-year-old young lady, was stabbed in the neck as she was with two of her sisters, were getting off the train in Oakland, California. I want to say this happened on Sunday. I had started my look this morning, but had no clue what I was wearing, so now I know. She was stabbed in the neck as she exited the train by a white man. I want to say John Lee Cowell is his name. For whatever reason, I believe he was on that same train. There was no physical confrontation, no verbal confrontation. They got ambushed. And he stabbed her in the neck, stabbed the sister in the neck. The sister has a cut on the side, and he ran off. They were able to capture him within 24 hours. I will say this, and I don't want to offend anybody who watches my videos, but whenever there is a killing and that individual is Caucasian, they say it was psych related. And I'm not saying that this man does not have psych problems. I do not know him. I do not know his background. Allegedly, he has a criminal history of assault, burglary. I don't know if it was drugs or anything like that. But this is what his family is saying. That he was diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia, and he wasn't getting treatment for it. I don't want to fuel the race fires because they don't know why he did it. No one knows why he did it. He just did it. So I don't want to fuel this was a race because they were black. Okay, I don't want to fuel that. All right. I work in mental health. And I'm not saying that he can't be crazy and that crazy people don't do these things. It's just that that's just the defense that they always use. Is insanity. That's all. She was a young girl full of life. Her family, she had 6 sisters, 2 brothers. Family said she was very helpful. I believe she wanted to join the military and become a paramedic. Very much into fashion, very much a diva like myself. And she had a whole life ahead of her. And for whatever reason, this nut decided to take it. The public criticized the police. They were saying that there was no police on the platform. They're saying there were 2 police officers there. The mother had mentioned in an interview that they told her that they were going to increase, they were saying, because someone mentioned in the comments that there were other stabbings at the train station. So the mother had mentioned that they were supposed to increase police presence. And I'm not defending the police. I don't know where they were at the time of the attack, but the nature of it and the way he ambushed them getting off the train, even if there was a police officer within 6 feet, within 10 feet, I don't know if he would have been able to prevent that attack. And they also were saying that, you know, it took them that long to catch him, but this is just my personal opinion, and I don't know how I would feel if that was my loved one. They caught him within 24 hours, which I think is pretty damn good. Being that this happened at night and he just ran off. And I believe he was caught riding the train the next day. So he must have wanted to get caught, okay? In my opinion, he wanted to get caught. What are you doing back on the train? You just killed somebody. And a lot of times, some of these crazy people, they do things because they want to get caught. And it's just really, really sad. You know, the sister spoke that she had this exciting job interview coming up, but she wouldn't tell them where. You know, she was working at an online, and I guess in a factory of an online clothing company. And it just does not make sense. And it has to hurt even worse because they don't know why. It wasn't like she was in a party or at a bar and they started arguing and that's how it happened. They were on their way from, one story said that they were on their way from a party for one of her old high school boyfriend that was killed. He drowned to death. But what I read this morning is that they were coming back from a family gathering of a relative, I don't want to say an aunt, but somebody in the family who's dying of cancer. And they were giving her a barbecue. And they were on their way back. And they were in the midst of changing trains. And that happened. Her mother said in an interview that her daughter shared with her that she was afraid of that station. And she didn't understand why. She said, really? You're afraid of BART station? And my grandmother would say, may she rest in peace, that people know or have a feeling when they're going to die. And going back to the Junior case, a friend said Junior shared with him he felt like something was going to happen to him. I had a relative, my ex-husband's aunt, she was in the hospital, and she would perform. She was a career drug addict, in and out of the hospital, non-compliant diabetic, and she had to have one of her legs amputated. I can't remember if it was below the knee or above the knee, because she developed a foot ulcer. And it just never healed. And, you know, diabetics, they have poor circulation, yada, yada, yada. And 2 days before she died, she had called my ex-mother-in-law. And she was talking crazy. She was saying she was in a room, and there were these people dressed in white. And there was this man in the corner with this ugly, ugly face staring at her. And then she said, she screamed and said, oh my God, the baby fell on the floor. And that same day, one of her neighbors had a baby pass away that lived in her apartment building. But they're thinking the baby that she's seen was her sister that passed away. There was a daughter in between my mother-in-law and her that had passed away. She fell off the bed and hit her head. So they're thinking that she had seen her death. So that was really strange, but we thought that, you know, she was just performing and acting out because that's what she would do when she was in the hospital for attention. And she died 2 days later. And I believe the man that she's seen in the corner with the ugly black face was the angel of death. I myself have, I did a one-to-one in ICU when I was a nurse's aide years ago. And it was a 4-bedded room. And I just felt heavy. I just couldn't understand why I felt so. I just didn't feel right. I just felt heavy. Like in the room, it was just so heavy. I couldn't understand. I was fine when I came to work. And I just felt heavy. And one of the patients across from me, because I was watching somebody who was on suicide watch. One of the patients across from me was dying. I didn't know that. You know, the other nurses didn't share that with me. And the angel of death was there. And that's why I felt the way I felt. That person was dying. So it is possible that she had a feeling or a bad feeling about that train station, or maybe she knew. Regardless, it's just a horrible crime and a life snuffed out so short. They're not sure if it was race related, meaning if he had in his mind, because he was on the train with them, if he targeted them because of their color. And I don't want to fuel those wars because we don't really know yet. He was caught the next day. He's arrested and he didn't plead anything. So we don't know. And to be honest with you, I don't think we're going to know. I don't think he's going to come out and say, yes, I wanted to kill 2 black people, or I killed them because. I think he's going to try to roll with that insanity plea. And I'm hoping they don't buy it. You know, mental health, yes, it's on the rise. Yes, mental health does exist. But there's so much help out there. But the problem with these crazy people is they're not going to get the help. They want to take out as many people as they can before on their way out. You know what I mean? They don't care. They really don't care. And that's the problem. Just like those gang members who killed Junior. These people nowadays have no regard for life. It's once you take it, you can't give it back. You can't take it back. You know, it's final, and I don't think they think about that. You know, there's people that are unhappy, they're miserable, and you know, they don't want to be here anymore, and they take somebody out before, you know, they go out. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but that's just unfortunately the way it is. And he, with his crime history, I don't know if he was on probation or parole, but they're saying he was homeless. I don't know. So I'll let you guys know as the details come, but I really don't know his motive for taking this beautiful young life. And again, I don't know if we'll ever know. Okay, but I did research the story. I have been seeing the other tragedies, and I have been asked by people close to me, not even just YouTube people, what about this case, what about that case? And that's just, I just don't want to get, I guess I'm avoiding them. I see them, I've just been so wrapped up in Junior. Maybe it's the selfish part of me. Not wanting to get involved. You know, I'm not even going to lie to you guys, because I have really been consumed where, you know, this is my last thought, my first thought of the day, the Junior case. And it doesn't mean that his life means more than anybody else's, so please don't take it that way. Please don't take it that way, because that's not how it is. Okay? But if I hear anything else about the Nia Wilson story, I will share with you guys. And if you don't know about it, New York Times did an article. If you Google her name, or if you put her in the YouTube search engine, you will see Nia Wilson, 18-year-old girl that was killed. And I told you guys about, I was obsessed with Trayvon Martin case. Obsessed. And they are, Jay-Z, he started doing docuseries. And on the Paramount Network, I believe Monday, I want to say 8 or 9 o'clock, they're going to have the first part of the 6-part docuseries on the Trayvon Martin case. So I will be watching that. I've been waiting for that since I heard about it. And that's another case where I will say about the Nia Wilson, there's a radio station or a TV show, you know, showed a picture of her. And they showed a picture of her, what it looked like she was holding a gun. Which it was not a gun. It was that cell phone case. Whatever idiot decided to design the cell phone case in the shape of a gun, when people have been gunned down because the cops thought they had a gun. But whatever. It had her holding the gun, and there was an outrage because they're saying that they could have used so many other pictures of her. There's so many pictures on the internet of her. Beautiful girl. And they chose to use the picture of a gun. And they're tired of black victims being classified as criminals, like Trayvon Martin was when he wore that hoodie. And George Zimmerman profiled him as being a thug or somebody who didn't belong in that area because he was wearing a hoodie. And how many kids wear hoodies? So please, I was obsessed with that case and deeply disappointed with the verdict and his trial. So I will be watching that docuseries, okay? So thank you for watching my video. Thank you for all the comments that you guys give. I really read all of the comments and I appreciate the dialogue. And I hope everybody has a good day. I'm ready to start mine. 2 more days left in the work week. I can't wait. All right. Thanks for watching, and I will be talking to you guys later.